Hello, I'm Adam Grafton. I'm a corporate executive chef for Morrison, management specialist. I'm here at Whitehorse Village today doing a cooking segment on risotto. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that we do a variation of risotto. So most folks think risotto is a savory dish. A lot of folks look at risotto as being a complicated dish to make, and it's really simple. So our dessert risotto is going to be several flavors. I'm going to demo a mango, and it's all going to be low calorie. So what we're doing is we're incorporating a little bit of Splenda, we're incorporating fresh fruit juices, and we're going to be finishing the dessert risotto with plain yogurt as opposed to heavy cream. So simply the arborio rice is just a grain. It's very thick. It takes some time to cook, and typically a risotto method is by just continuously adding stock to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out. I have some arborio rice, and there's several ways of preparing it. You can go with plain arborio rice, and we're sautéing the rice just to build that nutty flavor in it, and then we're going to go ahead and add stock. So what I'm going to do is I have a hot pan here, and I'm just going to go ahead and just warm the pan up. And while that's warming, I just wanted to show everyone just some different simple stocks that I've made. For the mango application, what I've done is I've basically taken some apricot juice, some mango, some oranges, a little bit of cardamom, and a vanilla bean. So real quick on the vanilla bean, you can find these in your gourmet stores, and it's really simple. So all we're going to do is we're just going to cut down the middle of the vanilla bean, and real simple, we're just going to scrape all of the beans out of the pod, and we're just going to add it to the apricot stock. So again, real simple, adding flavors. You can go ahead and add the pods right into your stock. So it's a real simple application, but again, this is a sweet version of risotto. So I have our apricot mango stock, which we're going to be using to continuously add to that arborio rice, and it'll get nice and creamy. And then this is basically just skim milk with a little bit of Splenda, and again the vanilla beans. So I'll be using this in another dessert application for risotto. But for starters, we'll go ahead and we're just going to get started on the mango risotto. So I have my hot pan, and again, I pre-blanched the arborio rice. It's pretty simple. Just some boiling water, some boiling salted water, and then just when it starts to get a little bit crunchy, take it off and just shock it down with some ice water. Then you can go ahead and use that in several applications. So I'm just going to heat the arborio rice. Pretty simple. And I have several ingredients here. So what I have is I have some diced mango. I have a mango that's peeled, but I wanted to point out, you know, when you select a mango, you want to make sure that it has a red tint running through it. It's soft, and it's pretty easy to work with. And the trick here was that I didn't go and throw the seed out. I kept the seed, I put it in the apricot stock, and I was able to really take that mango flavor and infuse it into the apricot stock. So it's pretty simple, just kind of cutting the side off of it. And again, we're just gonna, we want a really small dice, so I'm just cutting some thin slices out of it, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and do some thin strips, and then again just going with some nice small dices. So that's pretty much, you'll see that at the end of the dish as I garnish. So again, we have the arborio rice. I'm just taking some of this apricot stock, and you can see as soon as you add that stock to the arborio rice, it just kind of sucks it up and starts building that creamy texture. And as it dries out, you just want to continuously add stock into it, and you want to taste it. You want to taste the arborio rice to make sure that it's soft enough. It's not crunchy. So it's a pretty simple dish. On the other pot, what I'm going to do is just show you another variation. And what I've done is I've had some raspberries and some blueberries, and what I've done is I've macerated the raspberries. So it's real simple, and I added Splenda. So I'm just adding some Splenda to the blueberries, And then just by mixing it and letting it rest for a couple hours, it draws out the natural sugars of the fruit, and you're left with a really nice sweetened macerated. So what I'm doing here is, again, I just have a hot pan. I'm going to saute a little bit of the risotto or the arborio rice. And what's great is I have this really nice vanilla infused sweetened skim milk. So same application, I'm just going to add some of this stock or this cream, and I'm just going to cook it until it starts to dry out. Then I'm going to go ahead and add more of this skim milk that's sweetened with Splenda. And over here you can see here how thick it's getting. It's sucking in that stock, and that's what you want. So I'm continuously to add the stock, and again, we want to be able to taste it. I want to make sure that it's cooked through. And when it gets to the point where that rice is perfectly cooked, you want to go ahead and fold in. Typically in an application for risotto, we're putting in chicken stock or veal stock, and then we're finishing it with cream and cheese. For this application for dessert, I want to go ahead and finish it with a little bit of plain yogurt. And again, it's low calorie, very healthy. Risotto doesn't have to be a savory dish. And as I add that, it gets even creamier. And when it's at the right texture, you can go ahead and serve it warm. And what's great about this dessert dish is you can serve it cold. And I'll show. And when we plate up, you'll get to see it served in a cold application. Okay, so here we have the arborio rice that's just cooked down with some cream. And again, going back to the maceration of the fruit, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use some of these great raspberries. And all I'm simply doing is just adding these great raspberries to the arborio rice. Mix these in and just let it simmer and continue to add some stock to it. Now back to our mango risotto. I have a little bit of diced mango, so I'm going to add a little bit to that. I'm just going to kind of fold it in. Okay, and we're going to be ready to plate up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of this plain yogurt in the bottom of this, and I'm going to do what's called a technique which is called a quenelle, and it's really simple. All I'm doing is taking some of this great sweet risotto, mango, and I'm just going to simply take 2 spoons and just keep folding it like that until you get these great oval forms. And I'm just going to drop it right into the glass. Okay? And then again, let's show some of this mango. So I have some diced mango here that I'm just going to put on top. And I'm going to finish it with a little bit of the plain yogurt. I have a little sprig of mint that I'm just going to put on there. And to balance out the flavors, I have a 25-year-old balsamic vinegar, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a little dot on top and balance out the sweetness with the acidity. And there you have it, a mango dessert risotto.